All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're jumping into one of the biggest debates in fitness, weights versus calisthenics. It's the classic battle of lifting iron against mastering your own body weight. And trust me, by the end of this, you're gonna have a crystal clear idea of which path is right for you. But first, let's start with a really big question, right? Who is actually stronger? Is it the powerlifter who can deadlift a ridiculous amount of weight? Or is it the gymnast holding an iron cross, literally defying the laws of gravity? You know, the answer? It's not nearly as simple as you think. And to even begin to answer that, we have to understand something crucial. Strength isn't just one thing. There are actually two key ways to measure it, and these two definitions pretty much set the stage for this entire showdown. Okay, first up, we've got absolute strength. This is just pure, unadulterated, raw force. It's the absolute maximum weight you can possibly lift for one single rep, and it doesn't matter how big or small you are. Think of it like a car's engine. It's all about total horsepower. This is where the powerlifters live and breathe. Now, on the flip side of that is relative strength. This is your pound for pound power. It's all about how strong you are in relation to your own body weight. This is that all-important strength to mass ratio. And you guessed it, gymnasts are the poster children for this, moving their bodies through space with just incredible grace and power. So let's break this down even further. As you can see here, absolute strength, that almost always favors bigger, heavier athletes. Think of a massive NFL lineman whose entire job is to move another massive human. Relative strength, though, that favors smaller, leaner athletes, like a wrestler or a rock climber who need to be incredibly efficient at moving their own body. See? Two totally different goals, two totally different types of strong. All right, now that we know the rules of the game, let's meet our contenders. In this corner, representing external loads and pure heavy metal, we have weight training. And in the other corner, the master of body control, we have calisthenics. You know, at their heart, it's a pretty simple difference. One path is all about adding external weight, barbells, dumbbells, all that stuff, to get stronger. The other path uses the most advanced and adaptable piece of equipment on the planet, your own body. So let's kick off round one, the battle for raw muscle and might. If your only goal is to get as big and as brutally strong as possible, which one gets you there faster? Now, to figure this out, you have to know that not all muscle growth is the same. There's what's called myofibrillar growth, which is an increase in the actual dense contractile muscle fibers. This is what makes you genuinely stronger. Then there's sarcoplasmic growth. This is more about increasing the fluid and energy stores around those fibers. It makes the muscle look bigger and gives you that awesome pump, but it doesn't add as much to your raw strength. And what's really cool is how this chart just lays it all out. You can see right here that lifting heavy weights in that low 1 to 5 rep range, that's what directly builds that dense myofibrillar strength. That higher volume bodybuilding style, that's what really targets the sarcoplasmic size. And calisthenics, well, it tends to create a really nice functional mix of both. So yeah, the verdict for this round is pretty clear-cut. If your one and only goal is to pack on as much muscle mass as possible and to maximize that top-end absolute strength, then progressively lifting heavier and heavier weights is, without a doubt, the most direct way to get it done. And this quote from the absolute legends at Westside Barbell just nails it. They call absolute strength the king of all strengths. And why is that? Well, because building that foundational raw strength literally raises the ceiling for everything else. Your speed, your power, your endurance. A stronger foundation makes everything else better. But hey, being strong isn't just about how much you can lift, right? What about your overall health, your safety, and just the practical side of things? Let's dive into the stuff that goes way beyond just building muscle. Right off the bat, when you look at calorie burn, calisthenics definitely pulls ahead. And it makes sense, right? It's usually way more dynamic. You're moving your whole body, there's less rest. That constant movement keeps your heart rate elevated, so you just burn more calories in the same amount of time. But don't count weights out on the health front. The heavy load from weight training is absolutely fantastic for building strong bones. I mean, research has shown it can increase spine bone density by up to 2%. That's a massive deal in the fight against conditions like osteoporosis as you get older. But then, calisthenics comes right back with a huge health haymaker of its own. Check this out. One study found that a 16-week calisthenics program seriously reduced visceral fat. And that's the really, really dangerous stuff that wraps around your internal organs. Getting rid of that is a gigantic win for your long-term health.
And then you've just got the sheer convenience of calisthenics. I mean, come on, you can do it anywhere, anytime. You don't need a pricey gym membership. It's built on natural human movement patterns, which can often mean a lower risk of injury, and it is infinitely scalable, whether you're doing your very first push-up or working towards a crazy one-arm pull-up.
Okay, we've laid out all the evidence. We've looked at raw power, we've looked at health, we've looked at convenience. So after all that, who's the winner? Who takes home the trophy? Well, here's the big secret. The truth is, there is no winner. There can't be one, because asking which one is better was the wrong question all along. The best method isn't some universal truth. It's the one that perfectly matches your goals, your lifestyle, and maybe most importantly, the one you'll actually enjoy doing day in and day out. Let's just make this super simple. You should probably choose weights if your main goal is getting as big as possible or building that peak absolute strength, especially if you compete in something like powerlifting. And you should probably choose calisthenics if you want elite pound-for-pound strength, if you really value convenience, or if your goal is just insane body control and athleticism. So here's your homework, your action plan. Step 1, define what you really want. Is it size? Is it pound-for-pound strength? Or is it just overall health? Step 2, look at your resources. Do you have a gym nearby, or are you a home workout person? And step 3, the big one, be honest with yourself. Which one of these are you actually going to stick with? Because consistency, that is the secret sauce for building any kind of strength. So, we've been through the science, the pros, the cons, the philosophy behind both of these amazing paths to strength. The only question left now is the one that really, truly matters. What kind of strong are you going to build?